Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. Just having a quick look at the Dow. Obviously, we're in that sort of holding pattern. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to zoom in now. I'm going to put it on a 5 minute chart, and I can talk to you about how this basically the Dow moved last night. And obviously, the big talk was Trump's press conference, and there's a bit of excitement. You can see here the market was sort of getting quite excited for Trump talking. Trump came on around this sort of level. He started talking and telling all the, obviously interesting things they're going to be doing and building the wall. He then mentioned that obviously he's a bit upset with the pharmaceutical companies. Then the algorithms picked up that sold the obviously the big farmers down pretty quickly. That recovered and then went down, a little bit of volatility. But I think what was interesting about last night was the last 2 hours. Suddenly you had this nice little move up the last 2 hours, which shows to me the market is still very resilient and it's very, very bullish. And certainly, I definitely think if the banks report some good earnings numbers on Friday, I think we'll break that 20,000 level. For me, the market's looking really, really good. And if we do break that 20,000 level, I think our market will march on and certainly go higher in the short term, which would obviously be great. What we did do today, importantly on the market, we took some profits on BHP. Yeah, we do think it. We got out at 26.46. It was a little bit touch and go actually, because it was trading 26.46 when we put the announcement out, and then it literally as the emails were being sent out, suddenly obviously a few fund managers had the same idea, and suddenly it sold down. But at the end of the day, it came back up in later in the day, and it got everyone out, I think, at 26.46, which was great. We still like the BHP. I think it's definitely sometime this year. I can see it having a 3.0 in front of it. The reason we've got out of it is simply we think there will be a little bit of resistance here. Obviously, we made some good money. There's still some questions of which way this market is. There going to be a pullback or isn't? And so we just, we could get back into this. There's a great thing about trending. We could get back into this next week and take another 5% in a different period in the cycle of BHP. But at the moment, we just feel don't be too greedy. It's always worked well for us at Equity Story. I think that's why our results are, generally speaking, been incredible over the last 2.5 years. And certainly by not being too greedy has always worked really well for us. Obviously, the gold stocks are doing well. Gold in US dollar terms was up, and good to see NST up, and at one stage Evolution was doing pretty well as well. Corporate travel looks good, and Aristocrat looks good, and generally speaking, these trending stocks on a down day on the ASX 200 held up fairly well. What I thought I'd do tonight is just talk about some stocks that we have spoken about before in the video and some others that we haven't, and just bring these to your attention, because certainly I think there's potentially money to be made in these companies. The first one I'd like to talk about is CIA, which is Champion Iron Ore Mine, and it's a fascinating story. What's the story behind? Now I do know this. We've spoken about this company on the video a few times. I do know there's quite a few Equity Story members that have got a little bit of Champion, and it's basically Cliffs bought an iron ore mine in the height of the iron ore boom in Canada for 4.2 billion, and Champion just bought that mine a few months ago for 10 million. So they got it for an absolute steal. And at the moment, the market cap of Champion is around sort of 240 million. So obviously, if they can get this iron ore mine up and running and of producing 8 million tons a year, this could obviously be and obviously depending on the scoping studies, could obviously be a fantastic story. At the moment, we are waiting for. This is why really Equity Story we haven't put it out yet as a sort of a 10 bagger or even a sort of a trending buy. We just need to see what that scoping study is going to be like. And but just looking at the share price today, I mean, I think that scoping study is going to be pretty good. That chart looks absolutely fantastic, and for me that looks like it's going a lot higher and a lot higher pretty quickly. And again, that short-term chart looks absolutely stunning. I don't think this is exactly the sort of price action you want. Just having a look now, it's up 16% today. You're paying what? Sellers at 66, and I think there's hardly any shares for sale. Um, Definitely, this looks really, really, really bullish. I'm going to be fascinated when I see that scoping study, but I do think, by the way, I'm sort of looking at this sort of price action tonight. I think that scoping study will be very, very good. So congratulations to all those Equity Story members that did get a bit of champion, and obviously those members that do listen to these videos that we do every night. We do put out a lot of ideas, and we do talk about a lot of stocks that we don't always put on the website for certain reasons. Maybe there's just not enough substance for them. Another stock which we had as a bullish stock on the weekend, it was part of on the Einstein Trending blog as one of our bullish buys for this week. And again, it sort of opened the week at 73. It's at 73 now. At one stage, it was up at 76. But for me, this chart looks again absolutely fantastic. Now, NWH Holdings, if you don't know the company, they do a lot of the maintenance and do a lot of the work for railways and iron ore mines. And recently, they just picked up another contract only last month from Rio Tinto to do some works for about 40 million. I think this is, if you look at this chart, you can see how it's moved in the past. It has been very volatile, and one stage was as high as $4. It's obviously had a big pullback with the issue with resources and iron ore. And for me, it's starting to look really, really good again. And even better now, it's starting to break above that sort of 200, and you think this has got further to run. It is a good story fundamentally, and I think this company are going to certainly be surprising the market with possibly even more contracts next year. But certainly for me, it looks very, very, very good. Another company I'd just like to have a little chat tonight is CAA. Now, I often say the best thing about Equity Story is our members, and got another new member, and he mentioned this stock to me, so I said, all right, we'll have a look at it. So I sent it to the great man, Cobbets, and we spent some time having a look. Well, the chart looks very good. It looks to me like it's going up. This is a company which has got a market cap around sort of 65 million, which is going to be the EBITDA is going to be around 20 million. Now we think this is cheap. So the company is talking about they're going to be giving a dividend as well, potentially this year, and we think this potentially could be a nice little have a nice little move up. And often you look at sort of resistance levels or past sort of noise, and if you look at these levels, maybe sort of squashed up a little bit too much, but certainly this level around 25 cents, but I'm thinking even around 30 cents, and potentially this could be we'll look at this. This is could be potentially quite an interesting trade. A nice little company. I think could be as high as 25 cents or 30 cents this year. Plus the fact, hopefully, giving a pretty decent dividend. I think this looks very, very good. CAA in the short term, and again that short-term chart just starting to poke its head up. So certainly charting-wise, looking good, and fundamentally, obviously, the company is increasing its earnings, increasing its revenue, and obviously doing some good things. Obviously, the issue with CAA, it's in the part of the building industry and aluminium, and obviously, although I think the orders will flow quite well this year, there is a sort of question mark on the housing industry. So again, we do think this is a trade, and certainly it could be quite a lucrative one. I think that's all I've got to talk about tonight at Equity Story. We're obviously watching all the trends and watching all the trades, and hopefully we'll get some good 3-year growth stories out fairly soon. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for listening to Equity Story, and I look forward to bringing you this report tomorrow night. Thank you. Good night.